Hey everybody, so we're going to go ahead and dive into the first training inside of how to find your ideal customers online. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and just give you guys a brief overview of everything we're going to cover. So we're going to cover how to ask the right questions, how to find your customers' pain points, how to do research based on your competitors and industry leaders to help find your target market, how to do hashtag and social research to learn how your audience speaks, how they engage on social media, and where they hang out, as well as joining groups in your niche to continue to nurture that relationship with your customers, as well as directly ask them questions or answer their questions. So first things first, this is so important. When it comes to finding your target market, your ideal customer, you first need to start out by asking all the right questions. So here's some to get you started. So what I recommend doing for this is either create a Google Doc or pull out a notebook and start writing down these questions and providing answers. You can go ahead and pause the training and do it right now, or go back through the slides afterwards and fill these out. So first things first, you need to ask, what problem does my product or service solve? Who needs the solution that I offer? Why do they care? What's in it for them? What's the end result they're going to get? How is my product or service going to make their life better? And why would they want this solution or benefit? So the point of these questions is to help you guys get down to the deep root causes of the motivations behind why people buy. So as you're going through this, just keep asking why, keep going deeper until you find that root cause of that is why they're buying my product or my service. So next we're going to go ahead and dive into what their pain points are. So this again is really important, and this is going to help you start laying the framework for your marketing copy and how you're going to present your brand online. So when we dive into their pain points, again, here's some more questions to ask. So go ahead and create another spot in your Google Doc or in your notebook and write down these questions and provide answers to them. So what are the things that are currently not working for them? What have they tried in the past that isn't working? What have they tried currently that isn't working? What keeps them up at night? What are they stressed about? What's causing them frustration? What problem do they currently have that they wish they could change but they don't know how? What have other people created to solve their problem that has failed them? This one is really important. So go ahead and go back and find other people that have created products or offered services similar to yours in the past that have promised to solve the problems of your target market that haven't completely solved their problem. Maybe they got close, maybe they tried, but they weren't able to completely execute and eliminate the problem. Next, what have they spent money on that ended up not solving their problem? So this is similar to the last question, but just think about where have they put dollars that's let them down. This is going to be really important as you continue to build out your marketing copy. So next, we're going to go ahead and dive into researching your competitors. So I broke this down into 4 steps, so it's pretty easy for you guys to go ahead and go through. You're going to do this on multiple different social media platforms, the ones that are most relevant to your market. And if you don't know which ones those are, there's going to be a training. It's either the next one or the one after. It's in this module that is going to break that down for you. So what we're going to do is you're going to find your competitors. The best way to do this, honestly, is to go to their website, scroll down to the bottom. Usually they have social icons down there, and then click through and open up all the different social icons, social channels that they have. So if it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever it is, open them all up for that competitor and then go through and take notes and go through this full process on all of the platforms. So once you find what platforms they're on, you're going to go through and you're going to look at their followers. So what you can do is you can click on their followers or page likes, and you can actually see who has liked or followed their page. Then you're going to go through and randomly pick people to check out their profile of their followers. So once you're going through the follower list, then pick different users and click through to their profile. Make note of their profile photo, make note of their location, make note of the photos on their Instagram or on their Facebook, anything that is public that you can see, and take note of it. This is going to give you a little bit of an insight into your ideal customer's life. Like, who are they, what's important to them, and what you're going to do over time as you go through this process on multiple platforms and for multiple competitors is you're going to be able to put together a list of attributes for your ideal customer. Next, you're going to go ahead and study the language that they're using on their social media. So how are your competitors talking to their followers? What slang are they using? What slang are they not using? What phrases do they use over and over? Make note of all of that. And then I skipped step 3, so let's hop back up there. You also want to make note of what content is working for them and what isn't. So what I like to do is when you go to your competitor's social media profile, go ahead and scroll through their content and see what content that they've posted, whether it's on Facebook, go through their timeline. If it's on Instagram, go through their profile. Even on LinkedIn, you can go to their page and you can scroll through. Make note of what gets the most likes and most comments. Make note of what doesn't. If they have posts that have 1 to 2 likes or less, make note of that. See what didn't work for them so that you then can know to not do the same thing. So next we're going to go ahead and dive into studying industry leaders. So this is going to be the same process you just did for competitors, but now for industry leaders. So this is going to be not competitors, but these are going to be people that are like top organizations or companies within your industry. For example, for the cattle industry, there's the National Cattlemen's Association. That is a great organization to look at if your target market is ranchers. So think about it that way. Think about some organizations that you can go ahead and check out. Do the same process. You can also look at different businesses too. They don't have to just be organizations that offer a slightly different product or service than you do, but are still attracting the same audience. So anyways, go ahead and dive in, take notes, and check out their followers. Next, for hashtags and social research, you're going to go ahead and go to Instagram and Twitter to do hashtag research. And what you're going to do is you're going to start finding relevant hashtags for your niche. How I like to do this is I'll start out with a simple phrase such as hashtag organics. Let's say my audience is interested in organic food. So then from there, on Instagram, I'll keep diving in deeper and deeper. So I'll go from organic food to organic recipes, to organic farmers market, to organic mom, to organic living. And I'll just go ahead and continue to dive deeper and deeper by looking at posts, looking at the top performing posts. And also Instagram offers hashtag suggestions as you're browsing through content that you can continue to scroll through. So what you're going to do when you're looking through these hashtags is look at what types of accounts are posting the content. You're going to make note of the language. You're going to make note of the imagery. And you're also going to make note of how they identify themselves and what they care about. So if there's any type of like national issues that they bring up or topics that keep coming up over and over again, and then also make note of how they present themselves, right? Do they call themselves healthy moms, or do they call themselves organic shoppers, or just make note of any titles that they give themselves because it's going to be really important later on. Also, if you need help brainstorming hashtags to search, go ahead and just post in the group and we can definitely support you in that, in finding different hashtags to research. Lastly, you want to repeat the same process on Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and YouTube, whatever is relevant to you, and use keywords related to your niche. So it's going to be similar to the hashtags, but instead you're going to be using keywords this time. And again, just make note of the content that you find. Is it mostly videos? Is it mostly photos? What do the photos look like? What types of words are being used? As you go through on all the different platforms, just be really observant. Even if there's like color patterns that you're noticing where most of the images contain green and white, or most images are orange and yellow. Just make note of those things because those are important, and it's all going to play into later on creating content and messaging that is going to speak directly to your target market. So last but not least, you're going to join groups in your niche. So I recommend doing this on Facebook and LinkedIn. If you're not active on LinkedIn, I wouldn't worry about it. I would just do Facebook. But if you're active in both, or you have a more B2B audience, I would definitely dive into LinkedIn as well. But if you're not and you're comfortable with Facebook and you don't use LinkedIn, then just do Facebook. There's no point in worrying about both. So what you're going to do is you're going to find 2 to 3 groups that have a large amount of your ideal customers in them, or are just related to topics in your industry. So if you don't necessarily know everything about your target market yet, right? Like we're in the process of discovering that and discovering who they are in more detail. So what you want to do is find groups that are related to the topics that your product or service is also in, the industry that you're also in. Next, you want to, once you get accepted into the group, or if it's an open group, you want to use the search bar that's going to be on the left side. It's on the left side on desktop. On mobile, it is on the search bar at the top. You can just go ahead and search right there. What you're going to do is search for questions related to your niche. So, for example, you could type in where to purchase organic food, or where to buy grass-fed beef, or where to get tractor parts for a certain tractor. Depending on who your market is, it's going to be a little bit different, but think about some commonly asked questions that involve your product or service and search those in the group. Then you're going to see what issues and struggles that people are having, make note of that, and you also can dive in and answer those people's questions. And then taking it one step further, go ahead and do a poll in the group or ask a question asking for feedback from people in the group. So you can ask your target market anything you want here, which is really exciting. And you can even do it in poll form to where you can see what they prefer, and it'll give you all the stats right there on Facebook. So this is also another great way just to interact with your target market a little bit more, and to continue to identify those pain points, the questions that they have, and make note of everything. So I expect you guys to have a full Google Doc or a full notebook after this training. If you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the group. We're always here to help. So take action, you guys. I can't wait to see what you come up with, and I'll see you in the next training.